You might recognize this Ace of Spade from the Jerry's Nugget playing cards, and this one from the Aviator playing cards. But here's the thing, they're both Aviators. And you might recognize this Joker as the extra generic Joker from the Steamboat decks. It is, but this one over here is from Aviators. You may recognize this as the Guarantee Aviator Joker. You'd be right. And this would be the Mohawk Joker from the Mohawk playing cards. But this one I'm holding, it's actually an Aviator as well. I personally reached out to Lee Asher to help me clear up these anomalies, and I think you'll be interested in what he had to say. What is up, folks? Jorge Nito here. Thanks for coming over and welcome back. Guys, today we're talking about Aviator playing cards, not just any Aviator playing cards. These are the Blue Seal, Cincinnati, Ohio, the coveted, the loved, that stock and finish that we've all just grown to admire and cherish. Hey, that's what we're talking about today, but here's the thing. We're going to talk about some anomalies, some issues. Yeah, I reached out to Lee Asher about some of these problems, some of these issues. Big shout out to Craig Roccanova for actually sending all these decks to me. And yeah, you might know Aviators as smooth finish playing cards, and maybe you're not a fan of those. Hey, I'm not either. A lot of modern playing cards with smooth finish, let's be honest, they suck. They're not the greatest. But these handle like a dream. These vintage Blue Seal smooth finish cards handle better than a lot of modern cards with air cushion finish, if I'm being honest. But guys, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at the standard Blue Seal Aviator playing cards from the United States Playing Card Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Normally, these don't come with cellophanes. So I just took this off of an older deck and slid it on there, because these little plastic pieces really do go a long way as far as protecting against warpage and things like that. You can also put gaffs and stuff and other cards. So you open these up, and a lot of you will be familiar with these because these are what the modern Aviators look like, the ones that are produced from Kentucky, right? So you have the Joker right there, the Guarantee Joker. Well, that you won't see these in the newer one, but that's the Guarantee Joker from the old Blue Seals, and the iconic Ace of Spades. Standard faces, standard bicycle faces, and as I had previously mentioned, these are smooth, so you won't see any dimples, dots, waffle pattern. Completely smooth on either side. But man, with that Cincinnati stock and finish, they really do handle exceptionally well. They spread great. For smooth cards, I mean, you don't get any better than these. These run anywhere from $25 to $35 for a pack of 2. Keep in mind, I'm talking about the Blue Seal ones, and they are beautiful. I mean, you just there's some working in, some breaking in, but man, they just handle gorgeous, man. These are. I'm surprised. I mentioned this to someone. I'm surprised these aren't at the status of Steamboats yet. Of course, these were produced in mass quantities and just distributed, throughout the states and abroad. So, yeah, there's a bunch of them. But being Blue Seals, we're running on a reserve. So that is what the standard Blue Seals look like. Craig Roccanova reached out to me once again and sent me a couple other packs of Aviators. I just want to show you a little bit of the difference. These are a little bit older. But you can see that whereas the newer one has the 2 engines on either side of the plane, these ones have 4. I'll go ahead and show you that one too. And the seal on the moderns is a typical Blue Seal, where these are the older stamp type sills. There's still the sills, but you see they have that, you know, perforated edging just there. The first thing that you'll notice when you open these is these have the longer flap just there. See some ad copy. But when you get the cards out and you get them into your hands, these are 1967, by the way. But when I started going through these, I noticed some differences in the jokers and the aces. We'll talk about those in a second. As far as the rest of the cards, standard bicycle faces, right? And I noticed the same thing with the reds. Now the reds are 1973, so the blues are the oldest, but yeah, standard bicycle faces with those. I will mention the coloring on this is just a lighter shade of red. It's almost a pink. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. This is the more modern blue seal, and this is the older one. Just there. So we essentially have the same thing going on with the reds and the blues. And this is why. Because the jokers and the ace of spades and these two older ones are quite a bit different from the modern blue seal. Now you'll recognize the ace of spade, like I mentioned in the intro, because it's a Jerry's Nugget ace of spade, but it was used in the blue seal deck. The same thing with these Steamboat extra jokers. Well, they're aviators, but you'll notice these in the Steamboat deck as well. And these are the Mohawk jokers from the Mohawk playing cards. And so I was just floored by that, because I'm like, why are these... It seemed like a mishmash. It just seemed like that USPCC just pulled from one deck, another deck, and they just kind of jammed some stuff together, and they called these aviators. I'm like, why are these so different? So like I said, I reached out to Lee Asher. I said, Lee, what is going on with these decks of cards? I mean, I couldn't imagine that they were fake, that they were fraudulent. And he was like, no, definitely not. But he let me know right off the bat that this is indeed the Jerry's Nugget ace of spade. And I knew it was, because it is, right? But he said, this is actually, when Jerry's Nugget approached USPCC in 1970, they had their own custom logo as far as the Joker and the back design, but they did not have anything as far as an Ace of Spades design. So this was actually stock art that USPCC just kind of had laying around. They had different designs for this or that, for the aces, and that's the one that they ultimately went with. So what these are in the Aviator decks is actually stock art from USPCC. When USPCC, they acquired the rights to the Standard Playing Card Company, and the Aviators were brought under their roof. Lee Asher said it was, this what you see right here is an attempt at United States Playing Card Company making Aviators their own. And so they're trying different things. They're trying to see what works. So they, initially went with, the Joker right here, as this would be like the standard Joker. This would be the extra or the generic Joker. And so that's what they did for a while. They would eventually, land on these ones later on. But yeah, that's what they see right here. They took the Joker from the Mohawk, they put it in there. The Steamboat, they put it in there. And the stock art that Jerry's Nugget would later go on to use, they use that in their decks as well. So guys, there you have it. Yeah, these Aviators was USPCC's attempt at just making the deck their own, making it special to them. They would later go on to include this as the standard Aviator Joker that we've all come familiar with, as well as the Ace of Spade. As far as handling, they handle like a dream, and especially the more modern blue seals. They're still technically, I guess, considered vintage because they don't make them anymore. But yeah, they handle like a dream. Guys, you're going to want to pick these up while they're still out there, and relatively cheap for blue seal playing cards, I might add. A really cool history surrounding this deck of cards. Big thank you to Lee Asher for clearing those issues up for us. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking this out. I hope you have a blessed weekend. And so, Jorge Anito here, signing off. God bless.